Hey guys, it's Joseph from Filmate Studios, and today I'm here to do the Clone Wars Part 1. So sorry for this video is super late release. My original video got deleted. I had actually almost finished Part 1 and 2. I was nearly done. I was nearly done editing Part 1, and had completely filmed Part 2, so I was maybe a solid, maybe 3-4 hours from finishing the entire, both videos. But then my editing software for the second time, and since I started this channel, decided that it's just going to delete all my content. So, yeah. I'm also going to film part 2 in a row, and I'm also going to edit both parts in a row. So they should all both be out the exact same day. Maybe Sunday they'll be out. But, yeah. Without further ado, let's get into the video. So, number 1 with the Clone Wars, it was actually a really, really good show. I liked it a lot, right? I think it had a few caveats, like, well, we're going to be talking about all the good and the bad of the show, but I just wanted to say that the show is great, and I recommend watching it if you can. If you can watch the show, if you have Disney Plus, watch it. The first 2 seasons are just good. They're good, but not quite like amazing. But seasons, especially season 4 and 5, those are really, really amazing seasons of the show. That's where the show really hits its peak. I didn't like season 6, but seasons are peak, especially season 7 as well. But getting into the actual little finite details of seasons 1 through 3. Number 1, the animation looks really, really gross. So, this is something I'll stand by. I hate the animation style of the Bad Batch and the Clone Wars. This blocky, detail-oriented. It's not like it's just I don't like it. It's actually looks pretty good at night, but like during the day, it looks terrible. Like, which it's okay for Star Wars because. Luckily, I think it kind of works for Star Wars because Star Wars is in space as well, so there's a lot more darker scenes in other shows and movies. But I'm just saying that I don't think it really works for literally anything else. Yeah, but also, I had took time for me to warm up to it. It's a little different. They kind of updated the animation style, basically. The original 6 seasons are produced from, I think it's 2009 to 2013. While the season 7 and the Bad Batch were produced by Disney in 2019 to 2021. Or now 2022, because the Bad Batch season 2 is coming out January 7th, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, the animation style is actually pretty nice in the Bad Batch as a Clone Wars. It isn't amazing. I don't like it very much, but it's just on another level of disgusting here. But yeah, and then there's episode 1 where Yoda looks really just feels human. I like how they made the Jedi feel human in this show because I think it was desperately needed. Because I just feel like at the end of the day, the Jedi didn't feel human in the prequel trilogy. I get what the goal was to make them feel like they were clouded by war, which they 100% were. But one, the show does a much better job with that towards like season 6 and 7. And 2, I just feel like the Clone Wars didn't do that well. They didn't make not the Clone Wars, the Revenge of the Sith really didn't make you feel like the Jedi were protectors. You didn't make them feel like they were the good guys. But the thing about the Jedi is that they thought they were the good guys. They were trying to do the right thing, but they were clouded. There were a few Jedi that weren't clouded. I think Anakin Skywalker wasn't clouded. He saw the truth because he was older. When he got indoctrinated by the Jedi, and that's what made him turn to the dark side at the heart of it. Overall, yeah, Yoda just feels almost human, caring for soldiers. That's what I would like to see from the prequel trilogy. But whatever. Character designs are simple yet cool. For example, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Anakin Skywalker, and Ahsoka Tano. Ahsoka Tano is not her design now, but her later design is actually pretty cool. I like it a lot. Obi-Wan's design, it makes you feel like a general. Like, they're a general. That just made all the Jedi feel like they've been turned into generals, just slightly which is probably not meant to convey this, but it conveys like slight messaging. They're generals now. They're more armored than they were before. Jedi are wearing slight armor now. But yeah, Ahsoka's voice is insanely annoying. So I forgot to watch the movie. I'll be honest. So I don't know how Ahsoka got introduced. I'm pretty sure she just got dumped on Anakin, but her voice is super annoying. I'm pretty sure that this was on purpose too. A video I watched a while back, which kind of explained Ahsoka's like how they kind of developed Ahsoka throughout the show and how she was annoying on purpose. But I just liked it. I like her development in the show too. That's another thing. Not quite season 1, but like there's gonna be an episode or 2 in season 1, but especially seasons 2, season 5. Those 2 seasons really do give her a lot of development, from like the Jedi Temple episode to losing her lightsaber to leaving the Order. It's like she just gets a ton of development, and it's awesome. It's so cool to see her get the development she needs, right? And she's not really that good in the first season, maybe even the second season. She starts to grow on me in the third season, though. I like her a lot in the third season, and then she probably becomes my favorite character, the original character of the Clone Wars, in season 5. She's awesome. Season 7, I love her in season 7. And I know she's in Rebels, I know she's in Mandalorian, and I know she's getting her own show. I am so happy to see her in those seasons. And I'm going to do a dance, a happy dance, because I want to see more of Ahsoka. I got literally 3 shows worth of Ahsoka. I got literally probably a few hours of content more of Ahsoka, which is great. I bet she'll be coming back more. I won't be surprised if she kind of dies in Ahsoka, though. Then Plo Koon is just awesome. Yeah, no. He's the best Jedi, let's be honest, everyone. Come on. I'm not a huge Star Wars fan, right? I know, like, there's legends and there's canon. I know for a fact that, that they don't like Disney. They like Star Wars. I know simple stuff, like, I know Darth Revan and Nimbus and, like, Legends of Luke. But I'm not, like, and how Palpatine basically gave birth to Darth Vader at this point. But I don't know, like, a ton about Star Wars in terms of legends and canon. But one thing I will say is that Plo Koon is just awesome. And we're going to see more of him, a little more of him in the actually Tales of a Jedi, which is supposed to come out in 2 weeks at this point, I think. And that's really, really exciting because I love the Tales of a Jedi. It comes out about a week. It comes out a week after Black Adam. So we'll be getting to see more of Black Adam. Black Adam comes out this week, by the way. So book your tickets. I'll be doing a speed review of that. Then the show was not afraid to get dark. I'm gonna be honest. Season 5, 6, and 7 are dark. Season 1 is it's not extremely dark, but it's still pretty dark. Every single episode, I'm not kidding you, every single episode, people die. Soldiers mainly. But you start to, around season 2, you really start feeling for the soldiers. It just makes me sad that they die. Give me a little ounce of sadness that they had to die, because they did have to die. But, like, it just conveys the war in general. It conveys that people do die in war, and it's just really, really sad. Then, clones feel very, very human, right? They feel like living people. And I already conveyed this in the last point, but next one, episode 19. No, I think I'm pretty sure it's just Palpatine looks ridiculous in this show. Can we just talk about it? Palpatine looks like an idiot. And I do like how they start setting up Order 66 around season 4, I think. Now, season 5 is when the inhibitor chips start getting mentions and everything. I just don't like Palpatine and the way he looks. Then getting into season 2, the animation looks so much better this season, I'd say. Maybe since it's starting to grow on me, I write down these notes as I'm watching the show. But it's just that the show oh my god, the animation looks a ton better. Even I recognize this. Then Ahsoka is becoming less annoying. Already mentioned this, kind of like, I hated Ahsoka in the other seasons. I'm gonna be honest, I thought she was a super annoying character that should not have been in the Clone Wars. And I know that people came to love her, so I know that something was gonna happen. And I know that she was gonna, I knew small newbie details, like that she was gonna escape with Rex after Order 66, but I wasn't expecting to love her this much. She's my favorite original Clone Wars character. She's actually my favorite original Star Wars character from Disney. I like her, and I forgot his name. I don't know his name. But they both look really cool. So this is just a really, really cool character. that I love. Oh, she's awesome. She's cool. She's hip. If I could hang out with one Star Wars character, it would be Ahsoka. If we knew each other like as friends, I didn't want to hang out with a random person. If I had to hang out with a random person with a stranger, I would 100% hang out with Rex. But that's kind of straying from the point, although it's still true. Now, in season 2, there's actually, and I can actually vouch for this, even though I haven't seen this season in a few weeks, or in a few days. This show has, at least this season 2, especially this season, gives you such a variety in episodes. You get, like, an episode on Mandalore, you get an episode on, like, the war, you get an episode on, like, Anakin, then Ahsoka, then you get an episode on a random Jedi, then you get an episode on a bunch of clones. Like, it's so random, you don't know what's gonna happen in the next episode. Although, I will say, the show is extremely predictable at certain points. Of course, this isn't a problem with the show. I think I've seen so much just shows in general that really any show is super predictable to me now. Like, nothing surprises me in media. The last time I got really, really surprised by a movie or TV show was Thor getting a daughter. And that wasn't even because it was, like, a plot twist. That was because I was thinking, it's a really smart idea to give Thor a daughter. Yeah, I'll say it. I like Thor Love and Thunder. It's bad critically, but I loved it personally. And you can't tell me otherwise, because it's my opinion. But, yeah, we're straying a lot of topic. We're getting really off topic this video. Sorry, I'm filming this video for the second time, and I just really, really want to have fun with it. So I'm kind of expressing topics that I really shouldn't in a video like this. But then, like, oh yeah, Boba Fett was cool. I don't know why I wrote this down. Boba Fett is annoying in this show. Like, extremely annoying. He's just a kid that doesn't want to kill. Like, how does that line up with Boba Fett? But I'm gonna be honest, I never liked Boba Fett in the first place. Right? I think that people like him because of their nostalgia. Oh, but he's cool. Like, he's cool in your kid's childhood, and now you're exacerbating that. You're kind of expressing that in adulthood, which is okay. Like, if you like a character because you're nostalgic to you, it's okay, alright? I don't care. But if you try to compare him to the other characters and say that he's better, and make a bad point, and then make points, no. Like, with Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. He's actually my least favorite Spider-Man, but I can see the points why people like him. But people don't talk about the points, like the good points. Like, how he just felt like he was a good Peter Parker. It's really the only thing good about it. And that he had, in my opinion, he has some really good moments. But it's not the best Spider-Man, and people will literally constantly say he's the best Spider-Man because it... And my problem with that, I know this is extremely off topic again, but I need to talk about this. Whenever people are talking about how Tobey Maguire is the best Spider-Man, this is how they always start the sentence. He was from my childhood. I watched him as a kid. He's best because, like, it's always because it was from their childhood. Trying to be an Andrew Garfield fan, I was like, I think Andrew Garfield, it's pretty similar. A lot of the younger Andrew Garfield, a lot of, like, teenagers say Andrew Garfield's their favorite because they kind of grew up with him. I didn't watch Spider-Man. I was never a Spider-Man kid. I saw Spider-Man 3, which is why it has a soft spot in my heart. When I was little, I watched that movie a ton. Spider-Man 3. But I was never a huge fan of Spider-Man. What kind of made me a huge fan of Spider-Man was actually the PS4 game. I actually played that last August. And I got really... I watched Far From Home. I thought it was a great movie and was excited for No Way Home at that point. But, you know, I wasn't really invested in Spider-Man until PS4. And then from PS4, I went back and I actually watched a few Spider-Man movies. Pretty sure I watched The Amazing Spider-Man and the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man 1 and 2. And loved those movies. And then I kind of read some comics and researched some stuff. I played Miles Morales. Did the same thing with Miles Morales. Rewatched Spider-Verse. Spider-Verse is amazing, people. And then, yeah. I just spent 2 minutes explaining why I love Andrew Garfield. And Tom Holland's not bad either. I think his movies have the best consistency. But yeah, another one is Obi-Wan's arc was amazing. If I can remember correctly, it was him getting a girlfriend. Finally, Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan can get some woman. Yes. But Obi-Wan, I like the way he was able to just... It makes him feel more human. I'll be honest. I was shocked that they didn't try to get Obi-Wan a love interest in the original movies. Of course, she dies. Spoiler alert. Probably cover this in part 2. But... she dies, and I love that death because it makes Obi-Wan feel more human. I've never seen, except for I've never seen Obi-Wan express so much pain. And I'm pretty sure that was the point. But yeah, I also think that the show gets way darker. Like, oh my god, this show is insanely dark. Towards the end, like, oh my god. If we're gonna talk about a show, like, a part of the show gets really, really dark, of course it's Order 66, but I think that the entirety of the show is insanely dark, especially the episode where they kind of lure Obi-Wan to Mandalore. I'm pretty sure there's 2 characters that die in that episode, which is crazy, but yep, episode 5 is, I actually wasn't expecting it to, because, like, from a normal kids show, you think, oh, you're not gonna kill the love interest. She's a love interest, but then in hindsight, I guess 2 things. Number 1, they do need to kill her off simply because she just can't be in Revenge of the Sith. Because Obi-Wan would have just if she was alive for Order 66, I'm pretty sure that Obi-Wan would have gone to hide with her instead of going to Tatooine. I am relatively sure that he would have gone to Mandalore. But yeah, now getting to season 3. Speaking of Mandalore, episode 5, right? This episode talks about corruption and, like, the Prime Minister and the kids that Ahsoka is teaching. This is the point where I'm really liking Ahsoka now. She feels like a Jedi in training, finally. But, yeah, the kids basically try to get corruption. It's really, really cool, because I like to see... the thing that really is strong about the Clone Wars is how it's able to kind of convey... Like, it's able to convey the outer Star Wars universe past the Jedi, right? It's able to... It can hone in on the clones. It can hone in on a bunch of kids from Mandalore. It can even hone in on, like, some random smugglers. Look at the Ventress episodes. Not random smugglers, but the Ventress episodes. I don't even think the Jedi are included in those episodes. But yep, or better yet, the Ahsoka episodes in season 7. The episode 10 is where, like, Padme brings Ahsoka to see the Separatists on their side, and I would say this episode was great. The Separatists weren't evil; only really the Sith were evil. Or the higher Separatists. The lower Separatists just wanted to lead the Republic because the Republic failed them, right? The Republic failed them and they want to leave for the Separatists. Great point, right? Because I think at the end of the day, it feels kind of unrealistic to just have every Separatist be evil, and it feels great to see that the Separatists think the Jedi are evil at this point. And then yeah, the fights are still really, really cool in the show. I don't think I even mentioned the fights were cool. I probably missed that. But the fights are cool in the show. Really, really cool. If I can remember some fights that are really, really cool. Ahsoka versus Ventress for the first time. Ventress versus Count Dooku. Maul versus Ahsoka. Obi-Wan and Ventress versus Ahsoka versus Maul and Savage. Like, those are some really, really cool fights. Yeah, and then the ending fight I think the end fight of episode 13 is pretty sure it's Dooku versus Ventress at that point, because you have to, in season 4, Maul comes back, so that makes sense, yeah. And then season 17 to 18 is pretty boring, nothing really said about that. So, yeah, 35, my other video was about 25 minutes, so I'm surprised, especially with all the fluff that I talked about, that the video is much shorter. So, like, yeah, overall, what am I thinking about the Clone Wars so far in part 1 and its part 2? I like it. I think it's a fun show, and I think that it's awesome so far, right? Of course, I've seen the entire show, but the seasons were generally just a fun time, and they didn't make you feel depressed, except for maybe the end of season 3. Or no, that's season 4. Wait, what? Oh yeah, she didn't die till like season 5. But I really like this season. Thought it was a fun little ride to go on, and I just hope that the rest of the show is as cool as this, right? Because this is a really, really cool season. So yeah, I'm gonna basically end the video off here, and basically just have fun, right? I'm just kidding. I'm gonna go film part 2 right now, actually. No, I'm probably gonna edit this part first. But yeah, if you like this video, like and subscribe. Make sure to check out, if you want to check out a video kind of like this, check out my Bad Batch video, although it's less good produced. Also, if you want to see a video essay, which is like the same rambling as it goes on here, if you want to check out my Spider-Man 2 video essay, that really does have a lot of rambling in it. And yeah, I'm Justin from Filmate Studios. Check out part 2, because it'll probably be out only 30 minutes apart. See you guys in the next one. And stay electric.